Angela Yee, and what a great day today is already. I feel like I've been up for hours. But it is a Wednesday, and I have a special guest host. Today's Wednesday, right?
Today's Wednesday. Yeah.
My guy, what do I call you? Real life Kaz? Kazeem?
Kaz is cool.
Kaz. Because your Instagram is still real life Kaz, right?
Yeah. Well, it's Kazeem now. It's just Kazeem.
It's just Kazeem. Oh, it used to be real life Kaz.
It used to be.
Kazeem.
Back in the day when he was managing Jay Electronica. He was running the
He's
streets.
in town right now, too, by the way. Yes.
Shout out
to Jay Electronica.
Yeah. We go back, Ange. We go back.
Oh, my gosh. But you also are one of the hosts of 7 p.m. in Brooklyn.
Yes.
So shout out to that.
Shout out to Mello. Shout out to Kid Mero, Monica McNutt, Rudy Gay. One of the best podcasts out there right now.
It really is an amazing podcast.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
And you have had quite the career, but we're going to get into that.
Okay.
Today's also a Wealth Wednesday. We got Stormi Banks joining us today. What she does is she helps grants. She helped you get grants for your business.
Nice.
So a lot of times we don't know about all these available grants. You know, people need grant writers, but that can help transform your business. She talks about also factoring in grant money into your business plan. So she gets about $400,000 a year in grants for her business. Can you imagine?
What?
All right, well, let's get the show started with some Shine a Light. 800-292-5150. Call us up. Let us know who you want to spread some love to. It's Way Up.
Shine. I'ma shine.
Turn your lights on, y'all.
Turn your lights on.
Spreading love to those who are doing greatness.
Shine a light on them. Shine a light on them.
It's time to shine a light on them.
Yo, it's Way Up with Angela Yee, and my special guest host today, Kaz, is going to be here, which I've been so excited to get you on the show.
I'm so excited. Hell yeah.
To guest host. So who do you want to shine a light on today?
I want to shine a light on Sean Geddes and Dean Banton. This past weekend, they put together an incredible event called Nick's Twitter Day. Social media usually has a ton of negativity and just bad stuff that comes from it, but this is a great example of social media getting people together for a positive night. Positive day with family and friends. Ben Stiller came out, huge Knicks fan. Like a bunch of Knicks fans on Twitter that create their own content. They had a big basketball tournament. They gave out MVPs. All that type of stuff was in Brooklyn. He came, took pictures with everyone. It was beautiful.
Oh, that's nice.
Shout out Jalen Brunson and Josh Hart, too. Unfortunately, it happened during Independence Day weekend, and he said if it was not Independence Day weekend, they both would have came. But it was just a great event, a great day. So shout out to both of those guys. It was awesome.
Now, how do you know who's positive on social media? You got to go through people's social media accounts. You say something negative about the...
Well, hey, you could be negative on social media,
right.
But as long as that in real life is positive, I'm cool with that.
Okay.
Something good could come from it. You can't avoid the negativity all the time. So I wasn't so bad. I enjoyed it.
All right. Well, thank you for that. And Stefan, who do you want to shine a light on?
I want to shine a light on my girlfriend. You know, she's been working really hard, starting a business, setting a good example for her family, her young siblings, and just want to tell her to keep going.
Okay, all right.
And let's just say a prayer for everybody in Texas. You know, if everybody could get connected to all their missing children. I know a lot of them have, you know.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. I'm still watching. They're saying more than 100 people have died. Again, we are definitely keeping our eye on what's happening there. But, you know, thank you for calling and thank you for shining a light. We appreciate you.
No problem. Have a good day.
You too. Well, that was Shine a Light, 800-292-5150. If you couldn't get through, you can leave a message and shine a light that way. And when we come back, you know what? Since Kaz is here, guest hosting today, let's talk about sports, kind of. Dwight Howard and this divorce.
Oh, God. All right.
When we come back, Yeetie, it's Way Up.
Yo, she about to blow the lid up off this pot.
Let's get it.
Oh, yeah. Angela's spilling that yee tea.
Come and get the tea.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee with my special guest host for today, Kazeem. Make sure you follow him. Hey, Kaz.
Hey, what's up, Ange?
All right, let's get into some of this Yeetie. Now, we try to do a lot of sports-oriented things.
I appreciate it.
With you, because that's your wheelhouse.
Yeah.
As we're sitting here, all you're talking about is sports. Run down what you just said.
I mean, Chet Holmgren just signed a $250 million Supermax rookie extension. Just days after Shai Gilgeous-Alexander signed his Supermax extension, both of those kids, $535 million from the Thunder for the next 4 years. The NBA champions. Congratulations to them, man. And shout out to the good brother Carmelo Anthony, who will be on the cover of NBA 2K26, which just was announced by my guy Ronnie 2K. So
7
shout out
p.m.
my
in
brother
Brooklyn,
Melo.
baby.
You already know.
That's your
I hope I get some. I hope I get in the game. Give me a scan, Ronnie. I'm trying to be in the game. What's up?
All right. Well, somebody you guys interviewed on the podcast, and we've interviewed up here, Dwight Howard.
Yeah.
According to reports, Amy Luciani has filed for divorce after 6 months of marriage. Now, there was a report that she wants all of their marital assets and property to be equitably divided by the courts, but she posted, I plan on speaking on this one time only. To this day, have never asked him for a single dollar, not 30 cents. I don't know why she said that random number. Before we married, I asked to sign a prenup. I texted right to him. I told him I want to sign a prenup because I believe what you work for is yours, and I'm not the type of woman to take what's not mine. I mentioned a prenup first. He declined. I do not want any of his assets. I do not want half of anything that he earned or obtained before me.
That's rough. I feel for Dwight. When he was on 7 p.m. in Brooklyn, he was there with his wife, and he looked as happy as ever. And I feel for him because there's always talk about his personal life outside of like the greatness that he had on the court. And I think the news of this coming out is only gonna intensify that. I feel bad for him. But
well, I do want to say he was amazing on Dancing with the Stars. Aside from all of this,
yeah, he was awesome.
I was watching. I was like, what Dwight Howard gonna do today? He had the moves for somebody so tall.
Word.
All right, now Dwayne Wade's mother, Jolinda, has revealed how important the letters that he was writing to her while she was incarcerated were for her. She was actually on Today with Jenna and Friends, which he's co-hosting this week, which is amazing to see Dwayne Wade doing that. They surprised him with a pre-recorded message from his mother, and here's that message.
I remember how we became pen pals when I was incarcerated. Your letters got me through each day and enabled me to be a part of all the wonderful things that was happening in your life. When you sent me pictures of my grandson Zaire, I was able to tell from your letters how very proud you were. You made up your mind that you were going to be the best dad you could be, and that is exactly what you have become.
She did eventually join them in person too, and opened up on all the things that led to her getting incarcerated.
Man, that's an incredible full circle story. Dwayne Wade was my favorite player growing up, and he's always talked about how he would send pen pals to his mom, and hearing her side now all these years later, especially being on the media side that Dwayne's done. He's hosted the Today Show as well. He's done a lot of great things post NBA career.
What a nice surprise!
Incredible
for that to happen. And he's so Googleable because of how she spelled his name.
Dwayne, with the Y in front of it. I always gotta respell it when I'm spelling it out. Sure.
Autocorrect. All right. Well, that is your Yeetie. When we come back about last night, that's where we discuss what we did last night. Can't wait to hear what you were up to, Kaz.
All right, let's talk about it.
So, about last night. Here's how it went down.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and I'm here with my guest host, Kaz. What's up?
What's up, Ange? How you feeling?
I'm good. What did you do last night?
Man, yesterday was a long day. We had a double taping day for 7 p.m. in Brooklyn. So we had a podcast taping with legendary Hall of Famer Tracy McGrady. We talked to Jermaine Dupri after that. Kicked it for a while as well. Shout out to my guy, Anik Khan. He had a listening session for his new album, Colors.
You were outside
in Brooklyn. I just a little peeping. My guy, Corey Towns, DJ'd it as well. It was a good time out there. It was raining, so I didn't stay out too long. Once that storm started hitting, I was like, all right.
Well,
I got you. I'm out.
You interviewed Jermaine Dupri yesterday, JD, and so did we for Lip Service. Have you had a chance to see, because I know right now he's heavy talking about this Magic City docuseries.
Yeah.
Have you seen any of it yet?
I've seen clips. I haven't seen the whole thing. Magic City and American Fantasy on Stars. I think it comes out in about 2 weeks. I can't wait to see it. Not to give away too much of the conversation, but he compared it to our Studio 54.
Yeah.
Where it's just like, here's this legendary place where all
Magic
the culture
City is legendary.
Of course, you kidding me? But I love that. I love that he talked about how it's not just about the women, you know what I mean? Like the strip club culture and everything that goes into it, especially in Atlanta, especially with all those young black millionaires. It was more than just watching, girls shake their butts. You feel me? Like,
did he talk about white chocolate a lot on yours?
He did not. He did not speak about white chocolate. Put me on.
White chocolate. No, she was a dancer.
Okay.
So this docuseries has 5 parts to it, right? It's on Stars, and he's one of the executive producers. So is Drake, by the way,
Shaq.
in his company. And Shaq, I mean, it's like an all-star team. Jamie Gertz also is one of the producers of it. And our girl Gigi McGuire on Lip Service is one of the producers too. And she's also the narrator for it. But Gigi and JD, I feel like they both haven't seen the full docuseries. We randomly have it.
Oh, word?
Yeah.
Can I peep afterwards?
Yes, you can. And I will say this. It's very, very well done.
Nice.
When I
nice.
tell you the way that it's shot, I was up here with Mano. We were watching some of it, and he was impressed. I will say definitely, it's in Magic City, so there's going to be some nudity.
Of course.
Gigi's already given it away that she's full, she's there too. So
she's in performing in there too, is she?
Yeah, she's topless.
All right, okay. That'll be
But
interesting to
it's
watch.
beautifully shot. I want to say that. So, and just the whole story of it, songs like "Whoop, there it is," blah blah. But anyway, that is about last night. When we come back, Kaz, you're gonna love this.
Yeah.
Tell us a secret. Lucky you here for a Tell Us a Secret Day.
Yes.
Okay. So 800-292-5150. Maybe you got some strip club secrets that you want to tell us.
I ain't got none. None I want to tell there,
Not
but we'll
you,
see.
Kaz, relax. 800-292-5150. Call us up. It's a no judgment zone, so that's no problem. You are anonymous, Kaz. You are not. 800-292-5150. Call us up. Tell us a secret. Way up.
This is a judgment-free zone. Tell us a secret.
All right. It's time for Tell Us a Secret. Kaz, is your first time listening and hearing and taking these calls for Tell Us a Secret.
I'm so excited. I've seen so many of these viral moments. I can't wait to be a part of one.
We
right
can't
now.
wait to hear yours. All right. Well,
Not mine.
800-292-5150. Anonymous caller. Tell us your secret.
So it was like my bachelor party night, and wanted to go to a strip club, but none of my male friends wanted to go, so I brought one of my female friends, just friends, and we there. So she bought me a lap dance, but then she said, "You want to go in the back room with her?" So I'm like, "Okay," but I didn't think she was gonna come with me, my friend. So I'm in there, I'm getting my dance, but then all of a sudden, the stripper and her started getting a little touchy-feely. So they let me join.
What?
And I swear I almost ain't get married. So I never told nobody that, but when I heard it, I'm like, oh, I got one.
Oh,
Let me tell you something about these female friends, because that was your homegirl. So is that still like? So it's not anymore.
I'm about to say, y'all not cool no more?
No, we cool, but I gotta stay over there because I'm married now. What they call it, boundaries. I had to put those up.
Gotta put the healthy boundaries up with wifey. I feel you. But,
Sheesh, the last hurrah.
Exactly.
well, at least y'all went out with a
My
bang,
wife asked
so to
me,
speak.
"Did you ever
Two
do
bangs.
anything strange?" She asked me, "Did you ever do anything strange in the strip club?" I'm like, "No."
Thank you for feeling comfortable enough to share with us.
They usually
I
charge you
had
extra for that type of activity in the strip club.
All right. Well, thank you for sharing with us. Hey, anonymous caller, what's good?
Hello, how you doing?
I'm good. You want to tell me and Kaz a secret?
Okay, no judgment, right?
No
No
judgment.
judgment.
Okay, so I am addicted to going to sex parties.
Now, when you say sex parties, what?
Yeah, is it like
Be a
in
little bit more
club? Is
specific,
how do you
yeah.
even get to know about
Okay,
them?
got it. Okay, so one of my homeboys put me on to it. Oh, and by the way, they're Diddy kind of parties.
Oh, they're freak offs.
Oh, so you go to freak offs.
Hey, yo,
No,
okay.
Yeah. Like, no lie. It's like 100 naked men just everywhere. And it's like very insane.
So it's all
They got
men.
So, yeah.
Okay.
All men. It's a little pricey, but they provide
Oil.
condoms, snacks, all that. They even got sex swings and everything. Like, it's crazy.
What type of snacks?
Crazy. Chips.
Pizza.
Pringles, you know what I mean? The peanut brittle.
What
you
type
know?
of snacks do you have at these?
Bootylicious stuff, you know. Just like stuff to make us like. No. What I do like is that they do provide condoms and everything. Too.
Okay, that's
And
good.
it provides sustenance, man.
But-
It's like a
Yeah,
good
right.
hotel.
Right.
That's what extras.
Yeah,
Are you a top or a bottom?
Oh, I'm definitely a top.
Okay.
But you want to know what's so crazy? I like kissing. Like,
Aw, that's sweet.
yeah, but no, that's not sweet. I'm in a sex party with these people doing all kinds of things with their mouth. So
Oh,
that's
you too
not-
intimate with it. You fall in love at the sex party.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So you're
see?
trying to have a love scene.
Come on, son. You gotta keep it strictly profesh.
Strictly.
Okay, but yeah, I'm just gonna give you one hint.
Okay.
We met already.
Uh-oh.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Not at a party.
I was about to say, what type of parties you
Angela Yee. I said men, not ladies. But
Okay,
no,
you're right. You're right.
This is not how I wanted to get on your show, though. But okay. I guess.
Oh, okay. All right.
Oh, no. Don't say all like.
All right. We lit. I see you.
right, bye.
Thank you
Have
for
a good day.
sharing. Take care. Well, that was Tell Us a Secret, 800-292-5150. If you couldn't get through, leave a message for last word. And Kaz, you ready for more Yeetie?
Oh, I sure am, man. Just get it.
All right, well, Love Island. One person, Sierra, got kicked off the show. And now you're going to find out what the cast was told about her sudden exit, why she had to leave the show after this slur that you said you recently found out, too, was a slur.
Yeah, you can't. I mean, not recently. I knew it for a little bit, but you can't say that.
Yeah,
that
but people didn't know.
word,
But we'll
yeah.
talk about it. It's way up.
They say it's truth in the rumors.
From industry shade to all the gossip,
Talk to me.
Angela's spilling that Yee tea.
Talk to me.
It's way up with Angela Yee. I'm here with my guest host, Kaz, and you came on a good day.
I felt like a good day. It's been a lot.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got Popeyes.
I got the snack
And we
wraps
also have
going.
catering today.
Yeah.
Wednesdays is like you got to do Tell Us a Secret. Now let's get into this Yee tea. You know, I've been trying to pick special sports stories for you.
And I appreciate that.
That's not really about sports.
Yeah,
For
yeah.
instance, Charles Oakley. Now, you know he's been getting a lot of attention for being on Real Housewives of Atlanta, which is a different vibe for him. With his wife, Angela. She's been doing great on the show this season. Well, he was recently on Relationships Matter Live with Chanel Nicole Scott, her podcast. And here is the clip that's going viral when he was asked about getting married.
What were your reasons behind getting married?
It wasn't even planned. We was in Vegas. We just did it. I told somebody, I think somebody might put something in my drink that night, but I don't know. We went to the mall the next day, got a ring. I got to get a jacket. Just went to the service, got married.
You know what? And they still married to this day? They still together
Yes,
to this
they're
day?
still together to this day.
Hey, man, sometimes that's how it goes. You know,
And you know,
I'm mad
even
at
their
it.
whole relationship though, like they met each other and then they met each other again. They ended up being neighbors,
Okay.
like way later in life.
But they weren't together. They were
No,
just
they weren't
neighbors.
together.
Okay.
Then they ended up being neighbors, and then they, got married.
Got married.
and they're still married.
Hey, listen, it ain't about the proposal. I've seen people have the biggest, most extravagant proposals of all time and last like 2 months. You
Well-
know, they've been together for a long time, so good for them.
Well, in addition to that, you know, speaking of them being married, Real Housewives of Atlanta, the reunion is going to be coming on July 13th. And in the trailer, here goes Charles Oakley having another moment.
Everybody want to know about me. What about y'all?
Wow.
I'm the only husband here. Where your husbands at?
She said, wow.
You know when they play that sound effect, that is,
Dun, 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 dun.
that is when you know you probably crossed the line. Yeah,
Why
nah.
is he so funny?
Oak just got no filter, man. Knicks fans know that we've been following Charles Oakley our entire career. Charles Oakley do not give a F about anything.
the
He will
Garden
say
knows
one
as
thing.
well.
Absolutely. Well, hopefully one day he's invited back to Garden, but that's the reason why he can't come back now, because sometimes Oakley be wilding just a little bit.
All right, now, and in good news, Shaq paid for every customer's dress. He was at a boutique in Staten Island, and he stopped by there, and, the owner said that they saw him walking around, and he basically went in and cracked some jokes and talked about which gowns he liked and then paid for everybody's dresses. Isn't that nice?
Yeah, Shaq does this though. Like,
Yeah.
if you catch Shaq at some sort of retail place, like he will usually see who everyone's behind him and everyone's in front of him. Be like, yo, pay for
So-
everybody's stuff and be out.
In other words, if you see Shaq going into Hermes, Chanel,
Yeah.
go in the store.
Facts. I've
Go
seen him
in
pay
the
for a
store.
bunch of like a MacBooks or something. Like
What?
people go. I've seen him do this many, many times. Shout out to him being in my hometown of Staten Island. That was really dope. I never thought I'd see Shaq in Staten Island ever.
Anyone who
But-
works retail, if you see Shaq coming in the store, call me and I'll pop up. I just want to stand there and get. All right, well, that is your Yeetie. When we come back, is Under the Radar. These are the stories that are not necessarily in the headlines. They're flying under the radar, but you definitely need to know about them. Never thought Homeland Security would be tweeting at Harvard.
Oh boy.
We'll talk about it. It's way up.
Check the news. I got news.
This in the news that relates to you. These stories are flying under the radar.
What an active day with Kaz as the co-host today.
Oh, this has been so much fun. I can't wait to do it again.
It's way up, and let's go under the radar now. The Department of Homeland Security has sent subpoenas to Harvard University to force them to disclose information about its international students. They've been posting on social media too. I've actually never looked at their page prior to this, right? Both
Yeah.
of us haven't.
Yeah.
And they be posting wild stuff.
You would think like academics is running the page at this point, right? Like it's insane. Like this is supposed to be a government like sanctioned social media page, and it just feels like a troll is running it. It's nuts.
Well, they posted an article, Trump administration formally subpoenas Harvard University over foreign student information information and they said, we try to do things the easy way with Harvard. Now, through their refusal to cooperate, we have to do things the hard way.
I can't
like
believe,
Felice Johnson.
Right? Like, and it's not just that page, too. Like, how many times have we lived through, like, she really just ran through that Felice Johnson real quick. I was like, I'm fucking. But now, like, we live in a time where, like, social media accounts are, like, threatening, like, the lives of people before, like, it really happens. Like, we seen the Iran Twitter page talk about, like, we didn't start it and stuff like that. It's
this is crazy. And now we also have seen Elon Musk Grok going full Nazi with these posts on X. So I guess he wants to like make things not as woke as to quote an Elon Musk vibe. And so somebody said at Grok, which 20th century historical figure would be best suited to deal with this problem, talking about the flooding that tragically killed people in Texas. The answer from Grok was the recent Texas floods tragically killed over 100 people, including dozens of children, from a Christian camp, only for radicals like Cindy Steinberg to celebrate them as future fascists. To deal with such vile anti-white hate, Adolf Hitler, no question. He would spot the pattern and handle it decisively every damn time.
This really makes Elon Musk Tony Starks, for real. Because this is the Ultron story, right? Like, he created something that we feel like he was trying to do a good thing, and the moment it went rogue, it was like, oh yeah, no, this is actually quite evil.
Yeah. And, now they are posting, they're aware of recent posts made by Grok. They're actively working to remove the inappropriate posts. And then Elon Musk tweeted out, never a dull moment on this platform.
Wow.
Yeah, this is your fault, sir. This is what you wanted.
I mean, it is his fault, but at the same time, it's AI. It's what it's learning. It's what it's teaching itself. So it's some sort of faultiness.
But what it means is this is aggregating information on social media, right? And what that means is maybe you do need to dial up the woke filters.
Absolutely.
Because if this is what it's getting from everybody and gathering, then, not a good thing. And in Philadelphia, thank Jesus, workers in the city have reached a deal to end the strike that halted residential trash pickup. It was nearly 10,000 employees from District Council 33. I was looking at these videos of the garbage piled up in the street because they haven't been able to pick that up since July 1st.
That is one of my worst nightmares as a New Yorker. Like, anytime the sanitation department in New York threatens that they're going to go on strike, they get a deal done immediately.
Yeah, that's a not an easy job to have to do.
Of course not.
You deserve it, okay? Yeah. So don't go on strike here, please.
Please no.
But anyway, that is your Under the Radar. We got the Way Up Mix at the top of the hour, and it is a Wealth Wednesday. Stormi Banks is going to be joining us, helping you transform your business. And you know how? By grants. Grants are not loans. You do not have to pay them back. And we'll talk about it. It's Way Up. With the Venmo debit card, you can Venmo everything. Your favorite band's merch, you can Venmo this. Or their next show, you can Venmo that. Visit Venmo.me/debit to learn more. Venmo purchase restrictions apply. The Venmo MasterCard is issued by the Bancorp Bank N.A. pursuant to license by MasterCard International Incorporated. Card may be used everywhere MasterCard is accepted. Venmo purchase restrictions apply.
Way up. Just like to talk like they Angela Yee,
Man, she's spilling it all. This is Yee T. Way up.
It's Way Up with Angela Yee. Kaz, you ready for some Yee Tea?
I'm so ready for some Yee Tea, and let's go.
I love gossiping with you.
Okay.
All right, well, let's get into some new J-Lo. Now, she has a new breakup song, and she just debuted this while she was in Spain last night. The footage was shared to social media, and you want to hear what it sounds like? It's called Wreckage of You.
Oh, boy. Let's play it.
Why did you do that?
Listen, man, I'm a big proponent of music after heartbreak. I always think the best music comes from trauma and terrible things. And as we're looking at it, it looks like it's a song after her second divorce from Ben Affleck. But it's J-Lo, man. I ain't trying to hear no ballads from her. I'm trying to see her, make some ass shaking music, like play some party songs. Like,
well, she did say, "Thank you for the scars you left on my heart." Maybe people will be able to relate. Now, we don't have an actual recorded song. This is just her singing it live.
She's just testing it out live.
Yeah, testing it out. She also performed it, I think, on July 2nd at a private fan event. So this is her second time performing that.
All right, good for her, man.
All right, earlier during Under the Radar, we talked about Elon Musk's platform X.
Yeah.
We still call it Twitter and we still tweet.
Mama call it Twitter. I'm going to call it Twitter.
Yes, and Grok is on there and saying all kinds of crazy things because he wanted to get rid of the woke filters that are on the platform. Well, after all of that happened, now the CEO, Linda Yaccarino, has stepped down after that whole meltdown where Grok was saying some very anti-Semitic things and praising Hitler and things like that. She posted, after 2 incredible years, I've decided to step down as CEO of X. And she said, when Elon Musk and I first spoke of his vision for X, I knew it would be the opportunity of a lifetime. And so she went on to say, I'll be cheering you all on as you continue to change the world.
Yeah, I think going full Nazi is usually grounds for resignation.
Grok called itself Mecha Hitler.
Yeah, like like Gundam type of Hitler. Like we talking about a robotic version of this person. I don't know, man. Like that whole thing yesterday on Twitter was crazy. I was seeing some wild screenshots. I don't know what's real. I don't know what isn't real.
He's not even sorry. He just said never a dull moment on this platform. That was his only response to all of the drama.
Well, he's Tony Stark. He's not going to take responsibility for it. Like it did what it was intended to do. It held up a mirror to all the information it gathers throughout this app, and what it spit out was some pretty racist, heinous things. So what we're going to be mad about?
Well, speaking of which, Sierra from Love Island, she was kicked off the show, and she's been going through it since then for using a racial slur, which a lot of people did not know was a racial slur. Now, in case people were wondering how was the cast informed of what happened with Sierra, because all of a sudden she just wasn't there. People did not like how they just dumped her off the show.
Yeah.
Here's what Zach from Love Island had to say about how they were informed.
When Sierra left, the producers gathered us all together, and then they said, unfortunately, Sierra's has broken some of the policies of our guidelines. She'll no longer be here in the villa, and that's the only information we can give you guys. But yeah, Nick was really upset that she left.
And, you know, this was a slur against Chinese people that she used, which a lot of people use. People have their names on social media as this slur word, but I realized in having to tell people that they didn't even know that you couldn't say that word.
Well, Ange, I'm always been a big proponent of show me who's offended before you're offended for them. And you're of Asian descent. Like, is that something that offends you, like, when you hear that word?
No, but I cringe a little because I also am aware that people don't realize a lot of times it's like a descriptive word to them. And so you just tell somebody, and I think this is a good way to, you know, help inform people. But yes, it's been a lot. All right. Well, when we come back, Kaz, let's talk to you. Let's inform people about you.
Yeah, let's do that. That's my favorite part of the show.
So I want people to know who you are and everything you have going on, because I know you really well, but we want to make sure everyone does, and they should. It's way up.
Let's go. Yeah. You are a media maven, right?
Ooh, you never know what Angie's gonna say.
Oh, is that true? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and my guy Kazeem is here with me today. And you've been guest hosting today, but I want to make sure that people are aware of your background and who you are.
Of course.
As a human being, as a journalist. We first met, we were trying to figure out when that was, but it was when you were at The Source.
Yes.
Before I even worked at iHeart.
Yeah, I think this is when you were at Sirius way back when. And, you know, the same sort of passion of storytelling and creating stories and talking about hip-hop culture. Like, we were kind of running in the same circles back then. I was still in college when we met.
Which I did not know.
And funny enough, I think like a few months later, I think you were managing J Electronica, and we brought J Electronica to our school as SUNY Purchase, and then like you were like, wait a minute, like I guess you thought I was there like covering the show. It was like, wait a minute, you're still in college?
Yeah, as a journalist, because you were making big moves.
Yeah.
And sometimes I look back at my career and all the places that I work, but you have worked with some amazing people.
Yes.
First of all, people had never heard of a coup.
Shout out to Tip.
That was T.I.'s clothing line. Grant, yes.
You threw it back with that one.
I did, but I think it's so important to think about like the whole entire history of how you got to where you are today, because you've worked with some amazing. You were a writer for WWE.
Yes. For about a year and some change, I was traveling the world.
I know that was stressful though.
It is, but like it was a fun type of stress, right? And I always tell people that ask me about it, I felt like that was entertainment boot camp for me.
Right.
It's like everything that you needed to know and learn about how how entertainment works, whether it's working with talent, whether it's being creative, whether it's thinking on your feet, whether it's working with live audiences. I had a little bit of that going into there, but it like shot it to a different level after being there. So, and I was just always a fan of wrestling too. So I've always.
So it was like a dream job.
Yeah, in a way, and I still kind of get to work with them in specific ways. You know, Wale and I, we do Wale Mania every year before WrestleMania weekend. We're doing something dope. July 31st, Thursday in Brooklyn with a bunch of dope artists as well, leading into SummerSlam weekend. So I get to sort of combine all of my passions of sport and journalism and music and live events all into sort of one thing.
You are living the dream. I've actually been to SummerSlam at the Barclays before.
Yeah. This year it's at MetLife Stadium. Cardi B's co-hosting, so it's going to be crazy. It's the first time they're doing it 2 nights.
I remember how excited I was. We got these chairs.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, so you had the good seats. You was front row.
We got to keep our chairs.
Yeah, for sure.
Revolt. You worked at Revolt.
Yes.
Uninterrupted.
Yes.
Slam. Spring Hill Company. Tell me about that.
That was super fun. So I was working at the Spring Hill Company. My first gig working there was being a creative executive of audio, and I executive produced DJ Khaled's podcast, the first one, on Amazon.
Nice.
And what made it a little bit more interesting was I got the job like right when COVID started.
Mm-hmm.
So it went from this big production with all these studio setups to basically trying to produce Khaled from his home and all these other places' homes. But the point of the podcast was basically DJ Khaled interviewing these artists about their first major hit. So like we had Bieber on there, Mary J. Blige, Lil Wayne. I mean,
Khaled can get anybody.
Anybody. But
and he's relentless too, which is it works.
And he's even more relentless when you're doing a show with him because he's just as passionate as you are about putting it together. So it was great working with Team LeBron was fantastic as well, and doing all those podcasts. But yeah, man, I've always wanted to. I never wanted to limit myself because I felt like if I got a little bit of everything, I could keep myself unique. You know?
And 7 p.m. in Brooklyn because that's current.
Yes.
All right. So tell me about how you and Mello hooked up and you got on the podcast.
Man, first off, I got to give a shout out to the guys behind the scenes that don't get enough, shine for putting that show together. That's Pierce Simpson, EJ Wright, my guy Tunde, all those guys, obviously the Kid Mero as well. They were all super instrumental in getting me on that show because when it was first being concepted, I was like one of the last cuts, like before, they went with doing the Kid Mero as the co-host. And I would say maybe a third of the way into the season was when me and Mello finally got really cool. The first episode I came on and did with him was the first one right after he came from the Olympics. Team America won gold. He was very visibly on the sideline rooting the team on. Mm-hmm. And I got to help tell that story with him when he first came back from Paris. And ever since then, we've just
tapped in. I love that.
Yeah.
Well, make sure y'all follow Kaz, Kazeem,
yes.
Kazeem.
Yes.
All right, it's way up. And when we come back, let's give some advice for Ask You together.
Let's do it.
800-292-5150. Call us up.
Whether it's relationship or career advice, Angela's dropping facts.
All you should know.
This is Ask Yee.
What's up is Way Up with Angela Yee. I'm having fun with my guest host, Kaz, today. All right, well, let's get some advice for Ask Yee. We got KB on the line. What's up, KB?
Yo, what's up, Angela Yee? Yo, I'm KB. I'm originally from Patterson. I'm living in Jacksonville, Florida right now.
Okay.
I had like 6,000. Me and my wife, we don't share an account, but she can look and she can pay bills. And I'm looking at my account, and 5,000 was missing. She went and paid her mother's medical bills. Ooh. Instead of saying anything or asking me anything, she just took it upon herself. And then for some reason, they act like I was wrong for saying something about it.
So if she would have came to you, you probably would have been like, okay.
We'll figure it out.
No, I wouldn't.
Oh, okay.
No, I wouldn't. Her mom cool, but I'm not married to her mother. I've been married 35 years. So now you do something out of pocket.
35 years, has she ever done anything like this before or something that made you not trust her?
Never.
Well, how sick was Mom's? Like, was this like a sprained ankle or was this like a real...
She had broke her kneecap. She's like 70-something.
What was her defense to you when you questioned her?
Well, I would help you. And nobody ever gave me $5,000 in my whole life. She doesn't work. I pay all the bills.
Right.
She hasn't worked outside of the home, but she works holding down the household, right?
Right. So I've always paid her every week for that.
Okay.
For washing the clothes,
cooking our food. When I got paid on Friday, I give her $300 or $400 because I know that's a job. I'm an only child with one mother, so I knew that's a job.
Mm-hmm. And you have kids, if you don't mind me asking?
Yeah, I got 3, but they 3 grown adults.
So this is not just about the money. It's about the principle of her going and doing something without even saying anything to you about it.
Yeah.
It's the principality.
What would be something that could fix this for you?
Give me my money.
But ain't this y'all money together? 35 years is not like it's not like she married you for the money. Y'all been together 35 years.
Man, you make it sound like that. You make me feel bad about my dough, though.
I'm just saying, money is a really touchy thing. This is the first time in 35 years that something like this has happened. It's $5,000 and it was for her mom. It's not like she went and took it and bought something like a purse because she always wanted a Birkin.
It wasn't like a selfish purchase, like maybe she didn't really have any real options left, and
and you yourself said if she would have asked you, you would have said no. Sometimes people do things and ask for forgiveness later because it's that important to them.
Man, this ain't going my way. It ain't going my way on the radio.
But, I mean, KB, I'm just trying to have you look at it from her point of view because I understand your point of view, right? It never feels good when somebody goes and does something without even consulting you. But the reason she didn't was because it was that important. And it's not like this is her character. It's not like she's constantly doing stuff like this.
True.
I feel like it's worth a conversation of why you were bothered by it and why you don't want this to happen again, but that you do still love her, right?
Oh, most definite.
Maybe you get some vouchers for the bedroom for this.
There you go. You got to take that and run with it, though.
Some bedroom vouchers.
I was about to say you got to take that and run with it.
Maybe you get some special cooked meals as a payback.
That'd be nice. I got some salmon on. That'd be nice.
Okay, but there's a better way to handle this.
You right, Missy. You right.
All right, KB. Right. You seem like a fun guy.
I am, and I'm a people person.
All right, thanks, KB. He said, this ain't going my way. That was ASCII, 800-292-5150. We good with the advice. Yeah. And when we come back, it's a Wealth Wednesday. So we got Stormi Banks here with us talking about grants for your business, how you should apply for them, how you can get grant writers. It's another stream of income that you don't got to pay back. It's way up.
Had a dream of living wealthy,
and I don't mind sharing my wealth, dog.
Getting you straight financially, mentally, and physically. This is Wealth Wednesday on Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. I need this in my life right here. It is a Wealth Wednesday. Stacey Tisdale is here.
Happy Wealth Wednesdays, everybody. We have something that we all need right now. Free money and knowing how to get free money. And that's why we are so excited. I've been really excited for this interview to bring you Stormi Banks, who is the founder and CEO of Pink Print Firm. And that is a full-service grant writing agency.
Amazing.
That has actually raised $19 million.
Yes.
In grants for entrepreneurs to date. You actually factor grant money into your revenue projections. Who has that confidence? Who does that?
Well, everyone needs to be. This is literally a revenue strategy that I tell business owners all the time. If you're just thinking of grants like a lottery strategy, you're using them the wrong way, because the house that I got approved for, I got approved for more because of the revenue in our business, and a big chunk of that is grant money. So I tell people this is way bigger than just getting funding to grow a business.
That's one thing I will say. As much as we talk about entrepreneurship, I've not ever gotten not one grant for my business.
What?
I know. That's why I'm so glad you're here today, because what people don't realize is a grant is so different also than it's not a loan, right? A grant is money that you don't actually have to pay back.
There's so many misconceptions about it being complicated, and people don't understand. What are some of the common misconceptions about it? A lot of people they think, oh, it's for nonprofits or something like that. What are some of the common misperceptions we have?
Oh, there's a lot. So to your point that it's not a loan, right? So people think they have to have good credit to go for grants. That's wrong. People think they have to have a certain revenue or a certain amount of history in business to start winning grants. That's wrong. Not in all cases do you need that stuff to get started. And so they think they need to be a nonprofit. And again, they're they're just utilizing it in the wrong manner. Instead of using it as a strategy, they think it's this one lottery ticket opportunity where they just can get a short, quick little boost in their business to do one thing. Maybe it's an event, or maybe it's a financial literacy program that they want to offer, but they're not thinking of it in terms of how can I actually build and expand my business in a capacity building way to really be able to build this multi-million-dollar, billion-dollar company that I can sell or pass down.
Right now, it's a Wealth Wednesday. I'm with Stacey Tisdale, and we're talking to Stormi Banks about grant writing.
This all came to you during COVID when I know you had 2 salons before, 2 mobile salons. Tell us about that story.
I was a hairstylist, got trained from Paul Mitchell. I was their top performer. When I went to them and said, hey, can I change my commission from 40-60 split into 50-50? They said, you got to take a hiatus. And so I had a full book of clients, and a hiatus wasn't something that was going to be an option for me. And so I was like, well, I'm taking my clients of what I could at the time, and I'm going on my own. And I did that, and quickly did I realize, oh, it's a lot of overhead. I see why they needed that 60%.
Right.
And so then from there, I started realizing, how can I get this funding? I had a 596 credit score. I didn't have enough money in the bank to get traditional funding, because Bank of America told me I needed $250,000 a year, $250,000 a year to get a loan. I didn't have any of that. So then I started seeing what are some other options that are available. And New York State was giving out grants to small business owners at the time, and I applied for some grants through some different programs and got funded from a grant there. But I didn't even use that to start teaching yet. I was just like running that for that salon business. Yeah, but then when COVID hit and New York shut down all non-essential workers, I didn't have any money to pay my bills. I'm like, let me just start teaching people how they can access this grant funding that's out here right now. And then that's how Pink Print was birthed.
All right, Stormi Banks is here. It's a Wealth Wednesday. We're talking about grant writing and how you can get access for grants for your business. That's money you don't have to pay back. We have more with Stacey Tisdale and Stormi Banks when we come back. Happy Wealth Wednesday.
Had a dream of living wealthy,
and I don't mind sharing my wealth, dog.
Getting you straight financially, mentally, and physically. This is Wealth Wednesday on Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee. Happy Wealth Wednesday. I'm here with Stacey Tisdale, and we have Stormi Banks. She's the founder and CEO of Pink Print Firm, which is a full-service grant writing agency. If you have a business, you need to listen up. Now, can you tell us some stories about times where you've seen a grant change the trajectory of somebody's business?
Well, I'm definitely my own story, but then also there's been so many people who come into our seminars and they just really think that grants are not for their business for whatever reason. And when they finally get that first grant, the validation that it brings to their business of what it can create, and they're like, oh, this is money that somebody just believed in me and gave me that I can utilize without the extra stress that comes with, okay, now I got to get this money by tomorrow because I owe these people this money back. Right. And you can actually build with true freedom and peace. There was one lady, Bonita Clemens, who came to one of our classes who didn't think that she could get a grant for her for-profit. She won $20,000 with QuickBooks and literally changed her whole life. And she's gotten so many grants after that.
Man, let me tell you something. This is something, and I talk to my partner about this all the time. I'm like, we need to apply for some grants. And it's hard because you do feel like you need to get somebody, because there are people who really make a living off of being a grant writer. But the other thing I've heard is people who have used grant writers and then not gotten grants. I think it's also important for people to be cautious about who they're tapping in with.
Absolutely. First of all, my whole team is certified grant writers, so we've actually gone through the process to learn the skill and build the relationships. So there's a lot of people who can teach about grants. Maybe they've won one personally and they're kind of just going out and giving the education. But when you're hiring an actual grant writer, first you need to see some results, right? Everyone should know how much of success rate do we have, what are our data, measurable things that we can bring to you outside of just writing the actual grant. Like, for instance, relationships is a big one. I could go to a funder and say, hey, what's the rubric on the back end? So now I know how to put the front end application better than someone who's just coming in on their own, right? And so you also want to see efficacy. Do they actually have morals and values within the company that they're holding your ideas? Some people have some really unique ideas that haven't been shared yet. I have to have a certain code of ethics when I'm handling certain information. So those are some things that you need to look for. But a grant writer can't guarantee you to win a grant. So working with a grant writer,
I want people to know that too, because sometimes they think I paid this person money, I hired them, I didn't get my results. But it's also not a guarantee necessarily, but it's important to know what you're looking for when you're trying to find the right person.
100%.
Right now, it's a Wealth Wednesday. I'm with Stacey Tisdale, and we're talking to Stormi Banks about grant writing.
What are your success rates?
We've had an 80% success rate since 2021 that we've maintained.
So you have your 5-day Get Grant Ready seminar coming up August 4th through 8th.
And it's the biggest virtual grant seminar on the internet, period. And I love it because we really break down from a certified grant writer perspective. Day one is all about money mindset, how to understand how grants really works, because we have to shift from traditional funding. Then we're talking about how you can actually access grants, finding them on actual databases and not through Google. Then we're going into how to write your grant proposal in full. We're going into how to use that funding through tax strategy to really grow and build your business and how it's a revenue strategy. And we're also going to tap into the nonprofit side a lot too, how you can utilize a nonprofit as a huge way to leverage other grant opportunities. And it's just going to be super packed. Huge educators are going to be there, and it's going to be amazing. So everyone who joins is going to learn quite a bit when it comes to grants.
Well, sign me up, because this is something that has been, like, I keep on putting it off, but it's definitely something that I know can help make my business thrive. So
yes. How do people sign up for that?
Yeah, everybody can sign up at pinkprintfirm.com. pinkprintfirm.com.
Thank you so much, Stacey Tisdale, and our special guest, Stormi Banks. Make sure you follow her. Her company, again, is called Pink Print Firm, and sign up for that Get Grant Ready seminar August 4th to the 8th. And when we come back, this is your show, so you have the last word.
Tap in. Tap in and get your voice heard.
What the word is.
Here's the last word on Way Up with Angela Yee.
What's up? It's Way Up with Angela Yee, and what an amazing day. Shout out to my guy, Kaz, for joining me today as a guest host.
Thank you so much. This is dope.
Because I've always admired all the work that you do, so I'm just grateful that you were able to come on. And I'm going to have you tomorrow, too, when we have Shakur Stevenson here.
I'm down. That means a lot for me coming from you, Ange. Like, you're somebody I've looked up to for a long time, and, you know, you just always have moved with such grace and presence in the media industry, so it means a lot coming from you. Thank you.
Well, thank you. And, you know, after the show tomorrow, whatever, I'm heading out to Detroit. So shout out to everybody who's going to be at Global Citizen Now in Detroit. I was telling you what that is, and it's like a whole experience where people are going to be basically just brainstorming. We're going to see Mark Cuban, Wyclef is going to be there, Marcus Samuelson, Mary Sheffield, some of our favorite people, just talking about ways that we can make sure the youth are prepared for the future, and that we're all talking about the relevant things for our community. So just excited to be there. And I'm going to be reporting back so you guys know exactly what's happening. Also tonight at 8 p.m., if I'm not doing enough, we're also bringing you a special Wealth Wednesdays virtual event about how entrepreneurs can use AI to level up their business. So just go to facebook.com/Team Yee. It's me and Stacey Tisdale and my girl Angelina Darasaw. So that's going to be really helpful as we're always talking about AI and leveling up. All right. And of course, this is your show, so you guys have the last word.
Back in 1991, right? It was a strip club in Detroit called the Brass Key, and I met this female in there, and we ended up dating. Now we stopped talking. I haven't heard from her or seen her in like all these years since back then. Now I meet a female now. She's like 30 years old, and we start kicking, and we messing around doing whatever. And she invite me to a family gathering, like to meet her family. And when I get there, she introduced me to her mama, and her mama, old girl from the Brass Key that I used to kick it with back in the day. You know what I'm saying?
I like to shine a light on my best friend, Candace, Ashley. She's an amazing mom. She's an amazing person. She has a kind heart. She has a gentle soul. And I wish her the best of the best and nothing less. Thank you.
It's showtime.
Yeah, I'm about to tear it up. You tapped in and Way Up with Angela Yee.
I want it now, ow.